Hey everybody, it's Larry, and it's time for another episode of Coffee with Mr. Larry. But if you're drinking coffee with me right now, it's a late afternoon cup. Thursday, the 11th of March, just about got past me before I found time to stop and do this. But I've made a commitment and I wanted to live up to it. So today will be short and a little bit of a teaser as to what's coming in the near future and why we've been talking about some of the stuff that we've been talking about. Because again, it's the part of life you don't know about is the part that bites you in the neck, right? So let me do a quick question with you. You'll see it here on the screen in just a minute. And the question is, do you want your retirement income to last as long as you do? You're in a race. When you hit retirement, you're in a race. Either you're going to run out of money or you're going to, before you die, or you're going to die before you run out of money. You need to prepare for that. And here's some statistics for you. 61% of Americans, when they did a recent poll, were worried about that very thing. Here's a couple reasons why we've been talking about numbers and why we've been talking about you need to know your numbers. Because 68% of all Americans go into retirement with a mortgage, right? Meaning that when, they've got incomes are different and, got Social Security and some pension, maybe, but probably not for most of us. We got some retirement money. Some of that money belongs to the local state. You know the story by now. Some of us, most of us, if you look at the statistics, haven't saved enough for retirement. Just hadn't done it. But suppose just a minute, and here's the teaser, because we're going to do a much deeper, broader training on this thing. We call it the Boomer Retirement Rescue. Because even if you haven't saved a whole lot of money for retirement, by the way, the average 65-year-old goes into retirement with about $165,000 in their 401k. That's not going to get you to the end of the line. That's certainly not going to get you to the promised land, right? And so what we're going to be teaching you is, okay, there's where we are. How do we fix it? Well, one of the ways that we're going to show you how to fix it is you do not have time to build a huge nest egg. But as you see on this next little screen that's going to pop up here, you do have time to build an equivalent nest egg. If we just get rid of your debt, including that mortgage over the next 6 to 8 to 10 years even, then what you've done is you've freed up a bunch of cash flow, which is like having money in the bank. As you can see in our little example here, if we freed up $2,000 a month by paying off the debt before you get to retirement, that's equivalent to $24,000 a year. Well, you can see the math. For you to be able to produce $24,000 a year or $25,000 a year in income, net of taxes, you've got to have a nest egg, an asset at 5%, which is tough to get, of $500,000. Wow. So I can produce an equivalent $500,000 nest egg just by getting rid of my debt. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Larry? That's exactly what I'm saying. And I'm going to teach you how. So there's your teaser. We'll talk about this some next week. Tomorrow, tune in. I will promise to do it earlier in the morning. But we're going to do our what the Bible says about money episode. Until then, and if the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise,